Aston have designed as a car specifically for the film, so we're just incredibly fortunate.
Aston have an ongoing relationship with Bond. They're incredible. They've been totally collaborative, and they've created the DB10.
We've got 8 Astons in all to play with. We've got our hero Aston Martins, which are just pristine for Daniel to get in and out of.
We've got 2 stunt cars which will be doing the high-speed drifting and the jump scenes. We're going to develop 2 into gadget cars.
I haven't had the chance to get behind the wheel yet, but Gary Powell and his stunt drivers have been putting them through their paces.
They're specially built for this film. The bodywork's been completely changed, the interior's been completely changed, so it's pretty unique really.
Welcome to another episode of Jay Leno's Garage. If you've been to this website before, you know we are huge Aston Martin fans. It's one of my favorite brands. I can't define why I like it, but I find it very exciting. It's a true grand touring car with a luxury interior and luxury features. And we've done some of the great Aston Martins over here. Take a look. I love this. And this is one you'll see very soon in the new James Bond film Spectre. This is a car designed specifically for James Bond. I don't know many agents that get a car designed specifically for them. And it's designed by one of my favorite designers, Marek Reichman. Marek, come on in. How you doing? You're the chief designer at Aston Martin, correct?
Yes, hi Jay.
You did the 177.
That's right.
Which was fantastic. And every one of those sold out,
Yeah,
weren't they?
77 cars all sold.
And what were they, a million what?
1.2 million pounds.
1.2 million pounds. That's about $1.8 million, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And you know, obviously that's a lot of money, but when you first designed that car, I thought, well, that's crazy. But of course, all these other cars have come along, even more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite a bargain, and I see them going for more money than what they went for new.
Great investment. Now they're trading around 1.8, 1.9 million pounds.
See that, honey? It's a great investment. You see, we're investing. We're not just buying a car. Well, tell us about your latest here. This is, now this obviously does not have any of the James Bond gadgets or features in it, because this is a real car that you can drive, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is. It's a movie car, so it's called DB10. It does show and pave the way for some of our future products that you'll see later on.
Right.
But we designed this one just for James Bond. It is unique. There's 10 of them only. It's used in the movie. There are 1 or 2 gadgets that we can't talk about.
Gotcha.
But it is...
Now, when you design a car for a movie, do they say, look, we love what you've done in the past, design a car for us for James Bond, or do they come in with specific ideas? Because I know your work a little bit. This looks like your work to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It was in terms of free reign, it has to be an Aston Martin. But I worked closely with Sam Mendes, who had his opinion and views on how the car should be represented in the movie, but it was more or less show us an individual Aston Martin for James Bond with all the character of an Aston Martin.
Well, see, that's what I love. It doesn't look like some silly show car with things sticking out of it where you go, people, is that a secret agent driving that car? I mean, it looks like a production vehicle. It's just a really good-looking car that is obviously have a lot of Aston Martin cues to it. Are there some things in this we may see in future Aston Martins? Am I putting you on the spot here?
Yeah, no, you're not. You will, and it's without a doubt an Aston Martin, but it does some things very, very differently. It has a falling waistline, as a for instance, which Aston Martins never do. But typically our cars have what I would call a positive wedge, and this line actually falls off the back of the car.
Now this one, to me, seems wider at the hips here than any Aston Martin I have ever seen in my life.
Exactly, and that line is to accentuate that, because it's really providing the distance or cut through between these points.
I mean, it's really quite wide, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably wider than, I always think of the American Viper as being really wide, but this is easily as wide as that.
It is, yeah, definitely. And it was all about showing the power of rear-wheel drive as well, and pushing the wheels through the arches. So you've got that great flowing feeling through the wheel arch.
And I always like that sort of animal sort of haunches thing going.
Yeah, it's about evoking power. So James Bond, he's a powerful character. Our cars are powerful. It's about really accentuating that.
Now tell me about the wheels. Are these unique to this car only?
They are unique to James Bond, but you will see hints of those again in future products. So diamond turned, so a cast wheel. It's actually a directional wheel.
008 and 09 could have these wheels also.
They possibly could get those wheels as well.
All right, let's move to the front of the vehicle. Now here's something that I'm trying to decide whether I like it or not. It seems, I've never seen this on an Aston Martin before, rather than louvers, just holes here.
Yeah, so again, from a movie perspective, we didn't want to have a very strong graphic on the hood of the car as it's driving. So this is venting air, and it's doing it in a different way, but it's not having the set air vent or aperture in the front.
And I'm trying to think of what it represents.
It's very, very similar and showing the airflow.
Right.
So the intensity of heat is here, and that's actually the flow of air as it's coming out of the car.
I remember XKs used to have the louvered hood here.
Yeah.
And after they're 2-3 years old, the exhaust manifold got all rusty because water would come in through the. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
no
very
chance
nice.
of that here.
And you have the same sort of theme here.
Yeah. So that same line from the back coming all the way forward, accentuating the power at the front and pushing the arches out. So again, you've got very, very powerful
Now,
front
is this
haunches.
a front end that could be European or American legal? Does this sort of have a crush zone in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
it is?
we've designed the car thinking about future production cars as well. So
because I always thought when they come out with like the 5-mile-an-hour bumpers that you were supposed to hit something at 5 miles an hour. It would damage the bumper, but not damage the actual car. But this would be legal then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that would pass all the legals, pedestrian
impact.
impact.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And again, very different face for us. This is very much like a shark.
Yeah.
So you don't typically see the grille until you're head on to the car, so it's all in shadow.
Well, that's what I love now. You have a concept car that is actually drivable, because a lot of times when you go to shows and you see movie cars, it's just a big block of wood under here or something just to make it doesn't really move. Yeah. But this is a real car, isn't it?
It's a real car. All the stunts in the movie are done with these cars, are real cars. Has a 4.7 litre V8 under the hood. It's 420 horsepower. It's capable of 190 miles an hour. So it's a real car.
Now, is it more fun designing a car for James Bond than just doing a regular one? Did you have kids?
Yes.
Now, is Daddy cool because he designed the name?
Yeah, he was pretty cool before. Now he's pretty
red
hot.
So now you tell your kids, I'm sorry, it's a secret agent thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't tell them what is in. Even your own children, you can't disclose what it is. Oh, it's fantastic. It really looks great.
Yeah, and I think it probably is one of the most fun things to do, is developing and designing a car for a fictitious character. You know, someone who is, he's one of the best spies in the world.
Right.
So.
And the fun thing is, initially it looks like a big car, but I don't think it's any bigger than a 911, is it?
No, it's
because to me that's always the perfect size. Yeah, but it seems like it should be.
Yeah.
And of course this here, I always tell people, I always meet people who think they can design a car, and I always tell them, draw this arch here around the window and back and make it look attractive. And most people can't. It just looks odd. They don't really appreciate the skill that designers have, because you make it look easy. You go, oh, it looks great. But try and draw it yourself, you know, and it's almost impossible.
And that line you mentioned is so important, and where it points and how the arc has the tension in the car as well.
I'll show you what time. Just here, just freehand, try to draw that and see what yours looks like. Mine is like, I'm sorry, I'm not a car designer. And of course you have the hidden...
hidden till used.
And these carbon fiber here?
Yeah, so carbon fiber. The whole car is a carbon fiber. So it's a carbon fiber body sitting over a bonded aluminium chassis.
So when you design a car like this, do you design it first and the aerodynamics come into play second, or?
It's about the same time. You've got to be working together with the aerodynamicists.
Right.
And we work very, very closely in terms of airflow, the outlets of air, exiting air, the height of what I call the ducktail. So this area here to get the downforce at the rear, even the rear diffuser and how far out that comes for downforce in the rear.
Actually, this is sort of reminiscent of the DB5.
Yeah.
It had the bit of a cam back in it, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that effectively is a cam tail.
Yeah.
If you took that line down, that's our cam tail.
Now, does that license plate mean anything?
That's the license plate for James Bond in this movie.
Because you don't want to have 007 as your license plate, but then the bad guy would go, I wonder which car is Bond's. Oh gosh, I wonder if it's that one. Very nice, and obviously 4-wheel disc brakes and all that.
Yeah. So carbon ceramics all
Can we
around.
take a look at the interior?
Absolutely.
Okay. To me, this is where Aston Martin always really excels. It's really just a comfortable place to be. And these doors, Aston doors just don't open this way. They sort of go up, don't they?
So we have a swan hinge.
Yes.
So they're there
Is that what's called a swan hinge?
Yeah, so it's avoiding the curb,
it's not
effectively.
Not a dihedral door.
No. And obviously then it falls under its own steam after a while.
Right. Yeah, they always have wonderful interiors, and I'm so glad that James Bond is not a weenie and he drives a manual shift car. Thank you very much, because he's old school, isn't he?
Yeah, he
uses
definitely
the old
is.
PPK,
Yeah,
and you got the
this is
shaking
a manual,
that stir, like a proper manual car.
You've really got to drive
That's right,
this
you got to be, yeah. And I must say, that's the dashboard, the shapes almost look Star Wars to me.
Yeah, it is for Aston Martin much more driver focused.
Yeah.
So this is really about you enjoying the drive of this car. This is our sports car. You are the driver. It's not about the passenger, unfortunately, this time. It's all about you, your information. Of course, some of the gadgets are orientated towards
But
that.
that's probably the most over the top I've ever seen for an Aston Martin.
Definitely
and it actually
pushing
works.
things.
I like the fact that it's in the car rather than outside the car.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you have, like when I drive my Countach now, people go, how old are you? You know, well, I'm 65, you know, but I've had it 30 years. You know, you have to sort of explain. You know, it just looks, you look good. Whereas this always has sort of a mature, cool sort of theme to it. I like the almost rectangular steering wheel. Very nicely done. Very nicely.
So again, very influenced by 177 in terms of the quadratic steering wheel and a flat base, so you've got a lot more access underneath the wheel as well.
6-speed or 7-speed?
This is a 6-speed.
6-speed. Now, and we didn't tell us about the motor.
4.7 litre V8.
Okay.
So it's naturally aspirated, 420 horsepower.
Okay.
So it's the same motor that we use in our current Vantage model, because underneath here we've taken the Vantage and adopted it for these new proportions and the new language.
And because this is a concept car, the hood doesn't open right now.
It doesn't, no. Unfortunately, this car's been through its paces, so it's been jumping over things, it's been jumping through cars, so everything's been
Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to jump over things and we're going to jump through cars in just a little bit. No, but see, that's the most, like I said before, most concept cars, they don't show you the engine because there's no engine in there. And we can't show you the engine either, but we can prove there's an engine in because we can drive it, right?
We certainly can,
Let's take a drive. Let's go for a ride, Porsche. And Aston still sells manual shift cars this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will replace, so the new generation of Vantage will have a manual option.
Yeah, I
because
think
we see it as a huge, you know, particularly in this market, we've had so many customers saying, please make a manual.
Yeah. I mean, sight lines are fantastic on the car.
Yeah.
So many cars have these enormous A-pillar, and I'm always doing this.
Yeah.
Is there a kid in a bicycle right here? But it doesn't bother me. It seems to be further back enough. So.
And you obviously haven't got the cheetah, so normally there's a big black panel
Right,
there.
yeah.
And so because we've attached this to the base of the A-pillar or the body, so it's not actually attached on the end of the door.
Yeah.
It's funny, obviously, in setting the car up, because it's a wheelbase and a track and a proportional relationship that we don't know, but we only had 6 months to create the car, and it had to perform incredibly well. And the guys in the workshop did such a good job that the main complaint from the stunt drivers was that they couldn't get the car to release traction. So even without the traction control off, it was still incredibly sticky. So we had to work with Michelin to get a set of quite hard tyres that would work to get the car to move
around,
the off traction.
I almost wonder if Aston Martin would still be a brand was it not for James Bond, because those middle 70s years where they only produced a dozen cars, maybe, you know, so the James Bond thing kept it alive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can put a value on that relationship.
don't know if I'm sweating because Spectre's following us or because the windows don't roll down. This is a pre-production car. It's just a show car. There's no air conditioning. There's no electric windows. It's 100 degrees.
It's hot.
Oh, it's a bit hot in here, but that does not take away from the chance to drive it. Even add another 100 degrees, it would still be a thrill to drive the actual car used in the J-Bone. Marek, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Keep up the good work. The movie comes out. The movie comes out pretty soon, doesn't it?
6th of November in the US.
6th of November the movie comes out. So I'm going to see it because I can say, by the way, I actually drove that car. So how cool is that? So you'll see all the features it has. I don't want to show off and set it off right now, but thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.